All right, so let's move on to IBM. Pat, you and I had the chance to talk to CFO Jim Kavanaugh on earnings day. A couple of quick comments on his comments was, Jim is really been steadfast with us. We talk pretty much every quarter with him about the company's incredible operational excellence. And the stock really did run on the news. And Pat, 2% growth. So it's not the growth. This isn't like some huge growth number and but when you're talking about really excellent management of a business, again, another company that has been very cautious about hiring, has been consistent with expense management, is pumping out cash flow. I think it was record cash flow, free cash flow, and doing it all the while, building some interesting pivots, hybrid cloud AI. We've been saying this so much for so long. I know I feel like a broken record, but it is what it is. And then you kind of look at the business overall beyond. Software revenue, 7%, consulting revenue down, infrastructure revenue up 1% with a kind of a surprising outperform by Z. But I mean, the margin, the operating margin, the cash flow, all really, really solid. Pat, the highlight for me is the $2 billion kind of generative AI business now. It's about 3/4 of it running through consulting, 25% of it running through software. I gave some feedback. I'll continue to give the feedback to the market that I think it's a little hard to sort of discern their AI impact in the numbers. You got all these different categories that are showing single-digit growth and up and down. It's like consulting is making up most of Gen AI, but the revenue is down. And then like software revenue is up, but only 7%. And you got this, but they've doubled. They've done the Futurum thing with generative AI. Every quarter, they're pushing forward. Now they got a $2 billion a year run rate on generative. They had the first enterprise platform in Watson X, very powerful. And I think that's the big story for me is they're hitting it. They're like one of the companies that's actually delivering through consulting and software meaningful implementations into industry of AI. And so I give them a lot of credit for that. I'll keep beating the drum. Like I'd like to see it grow faster. I can't like look at the situation and be like, God, you've added $2 billion around this, but yet you're only growing 2%. But having said that, this is a company that has a complicated distributed business with everything from transaction processing to mainframes to consulting to IoT and automation software, and this AI stuff's kind of peppered and sprinkled throughout it. But Pat, you have a business that pays a dividend, puts off a ton of cash, is growing, albeit slowly. It's a good, especially in an area when you're seeing more rotation to value. It's a good combination, and the market's rewarding it.
Confidence is growing in the company, and people aren't looking at IBM for revenue growth, right? That's not, and therefore, if you're not trying to be in 25% growth every quarter, it's all about profitability. And my gosh, the ultimate arbiter of profitability and financial management is cash. And the cash, the cash they are generating is absolutely bonkers. I think it's the highest FCF they've had in a decade. Even if you, it's hard with some of the spinoffs to get that number exact, but it's super impressive. The other thing, it's funny, while some people don't like to talk about infrastructure. Infrastructure is sexy. For Z to be up with a platform that's been out there for that many years and is absolutely astonishing. And one thing, by the way, that we saw the OpenShift numbers, Dan, that were super impressive. What the company doesn't talk about is OpenShift and Z. And I have this hunch that is a very impressive number. And what I really like about that is it probably includes services. It includes Z, which is super high margin, and OpenShift, which is super high margin, and it's cloud on the mainframe, baby, and containers.
By the way, we need a whole nother time to explain how that can work and all the technology from a security standpoint that enables a mainframe in the cloud to have a relationship, with everything with CrowdStrike and Microsoft. There was a lot of proud mainframers going last week because, there'd be a lot of applications and a lot of transactions that could have happened that And sorry, I didn't mean to butt in on you, Pat, but I just mean like
No,
you
that's
make
good.
a really good point.
No, I was actually done, so you didn't interrupt me at all.
Great.
But anyways, by the way, looking at IBM stock over the past year is up 35%. And isn't it interesting how there were kind of those wave one pops from generative AI and the Mag 7, and then now we have a lot of companies, a lot of history, right? Like IBM and SAP kind of moving up there. I think that's pretty cool.
Well, I mean, look, we do need to see some rotation into small caps, into value, into the play. Like you can't build an entire market on 7 stocks. You just can't, or 10. I mean, it doesn't work.
We're trying hard.
A house of cards. Well, it's safe. I mean, it's been safe. It's been a safe bet, and I don't think you and I, we don't give financial advice. If we did, I don't think we could ever say like, don't invest in NVIDIA. It's like, there's a lot of reasons to. Having said that, there are some important considerations for people that need to look more broadly at where AI and value is going to be created. We'll keep talking about that